Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant finally able to record Pokémon SoulSilver again. Last time we got the basement key from What's-His-Face, who transformed himself to look like What's-His-Other-Face, and today we're going to be heading into the basement to see if we can find that other What's-His-Face. Why is there a kimono girl in the basement of the Goldenrod City during an invasion of Team Rocket? There's something about these girls, and I don't know what it is, but they always seem to be in these... whatever weird situation we find ourselves in. There they are. It's kind of weird, but... there's the door we couldn't go in before, and now that we have the key, we can go in here, and I always have to check to make sure there's no items in here, even though I'm pretty damn sure there aren't. But yeah, remember how saturated I said I was with Team Rocket? We've got a lot of big battles coming up! I'm super excited! Oh, that's why you were following me. Okay, that explains it. You're just after Lance, not necessarily me. Never mind. Hello, Snicker! And he's picked up one new Pokemon since last time. I think the last two times we faced him were relatively close together, so he didn't necessarily have any new Pokemon. I don't think he did, but yay, Golbat's using Confuse Ray. Remember when Kracko essentially killed himself out of confusion against Zubat? That's not happening now, and I'm super happy about it. But this is one of those very weird rival battles where his team actually changes in level depending on who you chose as your starter. And if you chose Totodile like I did, you get the worst of the three. If you chose Chikorita, his team will be at the same levels, except his Quilava wouldn't be at a level where it would have evolved by now. So you'd still be facing a not fully evolved starter on his end. And if you picked Cyndaquil, his team will be across the board 2 levels under what it is for us. Whereas now, not only are we facing the highest levels of all of the 3 possible teams he can have, but we're also going to be facing against a fully evolved starter in Meganium. However, unlike the first time we faced this thing, we can burn it to a cinder with Fire Blast, and it can't do anything about it. Although I will admit Meganium is the prettiest of the 3 starters. Yes, I said it! Although you can't necessarily argue at that point, considering your other options are Firefox, and, well, I guess Firefox is cool looking, but he's not pretty. And arguably the most disgusting looking starter in Pokemon history to this point in... I'm sorry, Crunch, I'm not trying to say anything about you or your performance or how awesome you are, but let's face it, you're not winning any beauty contests. Do we want to switch out for Haunter? I kind of want to get Duster in here just because Duster. But I do realize I've been overusing Duster a little bit. I didn't realize it was possible, but having to sit on the last 4 or 5 episodes, I do realize just how much I use Duster, simply because I don't think I use him enough, so it's really tempting for me to and not to use him. I don't know what I'm going to do about this guy. Please don't curse me. This would be the ideal time for him to use Curse, because not only am I confused and I'll be hitting myself, but now if he used Mean Look, I can't escape unless I defeat him, and please don't heal him. Okay, if you're just going to do that and kill yourself, I can escape at the end of the turn anyway, because you're dead. Even though Curse does take effect at the end of the turn, I can still switch out because I have Shift set. And this is the new Pokemon he picked up, presumably by stealing it from the guy that we got the Shuckle from. And one Pokemon that we won't have access to for a very long time. The Ice Dark type Sneasel! extremely quick and physically powerful, but you can cut through with like a hot knife through butter with any physical attack, so take that into account with his 4 times weakness to fighting, and I don't think he stood a chance. It'd probably one hit kill him if he were 20 levels above where he is. I don't know if I'm actually going to run a calc for that. But not very difficult for a rival battle. I'm a little bit disappointed in you, Snicker. You lost because you don't love your Pokémon. Cliché responses for the win. Silly Snicker, you don't need those things to win, you just need to be better than the other person. Hi, Mom! I also realized the one person we haven't... Why did I say person? The one Pokemon we haven't had leading our party in a very long time? Klaus! So I think I'll just have him out. But we still have plenty of Team Rocket members to go through, and if you guys have played the original games, you know just how much of a pain in the ass this puzzle can be. We're still dealing with Rattatas. I started off this video saying, you know what, I'm not as saturated with Team Rocket anymore. It's been so long since I've had a chance to record an LP. I just kinda want to get going. And I don't care who I'm facing, but I face one guy with one Rattata, and all of a sudden, I can't put up with him anymore. It's kinda sad. Okay, but you're 33, Duster. I do not want you to be hogging up all the experience. And I guess I'll give it to Crunch. I said I wouldn't like to do this on screen, but I don't want to have everybody's levels or level equality suffer as a result of my negligence either, so... If somebody is 2 levels above the lowest member of our team, I'll probably do the switching on screen, but it doesn't take too long to do. And Muck, the evolved form of Grimer! It's slightly more disgusting. But it's also weak to Psychic. I don't necessarily understand why Poison is weak to Psychic. I guess Poison had to be weak to something, and Psychic didn't necessarily have... Especially in the first generation, I'm not sure if Psychic was strong against anything besides fighting and poison. I'm probably forgetting something. But, yeah, if it weren't for poison, how many things would Psychic be super effective against? And you have to think, poison has to be weak to something. I mean, ground makes even less sense. But the way I see it, if poison is... I want to say you need to concentrate or something, and if you're poisoned, it's that much more difficult to concentrate, so you're more susceptible to mental types of attacks, but that would be more useful if the Pokemon itself was poisoned and you were using a psychic attack on the poisoned Pokemon as opposed to the poison type. There are a lot of type advantages that just don't make any sense besides for balance. And I know this is especially confusing for Brandon when he was first getting into Pokemon. It's like, why isn't the rock type strong against rock? It just doesn't make any sense. Rock is strong, right? Fork over your goods. You're a burglar. You're a burglar trying to rob Team Rocket, or are you part of Team Rocket? In which case, why aren't you wearing the uniform? Maybe they just didn't have enough uniforms and they let him in anyway, thinking that he was going to be nice and help him out, but now that he's here, he's kind of robbing him. Which is a little bit silly to pull yourself up in the deepest depths of the area they're seizing. But stupid burglars will be stupid burglars. Hi, Crunch. I'm sorry I called you not pretty. You're very pretty. Look how pretty you are. You're so pretty. Oh, so pretty. There I go, not talking again after saying something incredibly stupid. Do you guys notice a trend? And he's got one more coughing, so I suppose we'll switch out to Klaus again, but He's already gained a couple of levels because I had him holding the experience share in the radio tower, so I kind of have to hold off against using him also. He's just incredibly useful now that we have a lot of poison types to fight. And since most of them are levitating in the air like coughing, we can't hit him with Dig from HCB, so he's probably going to be the one we'll be using least often. Why isn't he holding the experience share? This is so silly. I'll be thinking about who I want to hold the experience share the entire time we're down here, but we picked up the smoke ball, and if you hold on to this, as long as the Pokemon is holding it, you can run away from a battle anytime you like. It's very similar to the runaway ability that Eevee could have gotten. I forget if ours had it or if it had adaptability before it evolved. And I was somewhat hoping that that would be a double battle, but considering they didn't exist in the second generation, I can see why you wouldn't have programmed it in. And Confusion might not be enough to OHKO the Growlithe. Let's give it a shot anyway. Aw, so close! Growlithe is really cute, though. I never noticed he's got stripes like a tiger would have, too. I wonder why. He looks like a cross between a dog, a lion, and a tiger. I never noticed that before. But now I have to move the experience share off of Crunch because I said I would. I also have to be very careful. Duster is going to learn a new move in a few levels, and since he's already got 2 HM moves on his moveset that I can't get rid of until we get to the next city, I want to be very careful that I don't level him up to learn that, because I haven't decided whether or not I want to keep Shadow Claw in place of it. So let's keep our promises and move the experience share off of Crunch so we can give it to HCB, because he's probably not going to get very much screen time against these poison types that are not weak to ground, like coughing. One more guy to fight down here. Actually, there's one more that we can't get to yet, but... okay, 2 more. But if we beat him, he'll give us a secret! A secret that we could probably figure out if we fooled around with the switches before. Why didn't I use Klaus on the radio? Did I use Klaus on the radio tower at all? I might have used him against 1 or 2 pokes. But I suppose I was a lot more anxious to use Kracko because he had a full resistance to poison, as opposed to having a super effective attack. But either way, they're both strong enough that they can OHKO him anyway. And if you're wondering what I mean when I say OHKO, O-H-K-O, one-hit KO, that didn't kill you! Why didn't that kill you? Please kill yourself. Thank you. Have a good day, sir. Thank you, come again. How about that secret now? Because unlike the last... there was a trainer in Price's gym that said he would tell us their secret if we talked to him. But we beat him, and I never talked to him. I'm talking to you! Push a color switch and the same color door opens. Now when he says that, he doesn't mean the color door, he means the doors around the square of that color. Now I'm not sure if I remember the order in which to press these, but I do remember that if you press them in a certain order, you could... yeah, that was it. And press this button, and that'll open up the way back. But we don't want to go that way, because we don't necessarily have to heal up quite yet. I may heal up between episodes, because we're probably going to have to cut this off at some point. And I don't know if I ever mentioned that Gloom was the evolved form of Oddish, but I imagine that was fairly obvious either way, so I didn't really feel it was necessary. I've noticed I'm getting a lot more sidetracked as these episodes go on, so I kind of forget to point out things like evolutions or what certain moves or items do that we haven't seen before. And like I said at the very beginning of this LP, like 5 or 6 months ago, I didn't necessarily know going in how familiar you guys were with Pokemon. I assumed at least 99.9% of you already knew everything I was saying, but I figured for completeness sake, I might as well mention them because it's what I do, I guess. But before we go any further, I think we should head out of here and heal up real quick. So I will meet you guys back down here next time, and we'll hopefully see if we can get to the director. This is UniversalGiant, and I hope you had a good day, and are having a good day, and will have a good day for the rest of your days. Could I end an episode any more cornily? Is that even a word? Walk up the stairs and heal up, damn it!